Hello, today I'd like to talk with you about David Elkin's theory of adolescent egocentrism. David Elkin was very influenced by Piaget's work. In fact, he studied at Piaget's Institute in Geneva for a year early in his career. He expanded on some of Piaget's ideas about what occurs in the formal operational stage of cognitive development for adolescents, which of course is when they begin to show more abstract thinking. But Piaget also observed that adolescents show a kind of egocentricity different from that of young children in the pre-operational stage of development that Piaget commented on and that we've already talked about. But for adolescents, Elkin believed that they demonstrate a different kind of egocentricity where they are very self-absorbed and see themselves as being sort of the center of the universe. When we think back on our own adolescent years, we can probably relate to that. One way in which this adolescent egocentricity manifests itself is through what Elkin called an imaginary audience. And this is when teenagers picture and fantasize how other people are going to react to them even before they are around those people. They tend to be very sensitive to the possibility that others are looking at them, observing them, and judging them. They may spend a lot of time getting ready in the morning, anticipating what other people might think about their appearance. If they have some minor alteration in their appearance that you or I probably wouldn't give all that much attention to, they can make it a big deal. Like, say, having a blemish on their face that they try to cover up before going to school in the morning. Or they don't like how their outfit looks or fits or coordinates. When they walk into a room, they may feel extremely self-conscious because they may be concerned that others are evaluating them in a critical kind of way. We'll be talking about this later in the chapter on death, but another way in which the imaginary audience can manifest itself in teenagers is when they might fantasize about their own death and their funeral and who would come to it and what would be said and that sort of thing. So another way that Elkin believed that adolescent egocentrism can manifest itself is through what Elkin called personal fables. And there are two aspects of personal fables. One is the idea of uniqueness. If something happens to a teenager, especially if it's something unpleasant, Elkin said that they may dramatize it, blow it out of proportion, and believe that nobody could possibly understand what they're going through because no one else has experienced anything like that before that's affected them as much as they are being affected by it. If you happen to have adolescent children at this time, or if you think back on your own adolescence or observe the experiences of other teenagers, past or present, you can probably see examples of this. The second aspect of personal fable is what Elkin called invincibility. When we think we're invincible, of course, we think that nothing bad can happen to us. So it may be that sometimes adolescents engage in risky behavior because they really believe that bad things only happen to other people, but they will not happen to them. They might drive fast. They might engage in unprotected sex. They might use alcohol or drugs to excess with the idea that nothing bad is going to happen to them. Of course, this kind of thinking can be very unnerving for parents who are trying to strike a balance between uh, allowing their teenagers to have increasing amounts of independence as they're able to handle it while keeping them safe in the process. Well, that's all for David Elkin's theory of adolescent egocentricity or egocentrism. I find it to be a very fascinating theory, and that's why I wanted to share a little bit about it with you today. Thank you, and I look forward to talking with you again soon.